I think, can they see me too? It's good. It's good. It's good. Enjoy our Jersey Shore intro. Hey. What? I hope you all can see this. Oh, we're at the club. I love that no one's watching. Best thing ever, ever, ever. Stop screen. I'm going to unmute you guys.
Oh, freedom. Oh, hey, that made the ring.
Unmute yourself. Look at me, unmute yourself.
Unmute yourselves.
All right.
Kick it off, Jess. No one's watching. It's cool. It's just us.
Hi, everyone.
My ring light just fell over, so this is great. There we
Stop
go.
the show.
Right.
That's it. Let's go harass people on the internet and be like, fucking watch this.
Oh, man. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Las Locas Live. I am Jess. This is Janice. And tonight we have Marilet Martinez.
Pipples.
Did you say pipples?
My friend who's from Miami measures things in units of pitbull. And so like when things are like really fun, she'll be like, oh my God, 10 out of 10 pipples.
That's awesome.
It's a new unit of measurement for me and I really enjoy it.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask you at the beginning and then I'll ask you at the end. How many pit bulls would you say you're feeling right now?
On a scale of 1 to 10 pit bulls, I'm like at a 5 maybe. I'm like at half, maybe 5.56. Like it's been kind of a long day, so
okay.
But I've really been looking forward to this. So I am pretty sure I will be at a different, higher level of pit bull.
We're excited to have you, so we're glad you're here. Janice, on a scale of 1 to 10.
Worldwide. I'm going to keep coming in. Mr. Worldwide. There's a DJ Khaled in there. Wait, what did he always say? There's another one.
DJ Khaled is
another one. Yeah, that's all he says. Sorry, what were you going to ask me?
Janice, on a scale of 1 to 10, another one. Where are you at?
How many DJ Khaled are you feeling? At least 3. Thank you. At least 3 DJ Khaleds. I'm sorry, that's all very South Florida stuff. Very South Florida.
It's very what about you, Jess? How many Dales are you?
How many Tekashi 6ix9ines are you today? Keeping it in Miami. Keeping it on Miami.
That's
topical.
Right.
I got to FaceTime my niece a couple times today, so I'm in a pretty good mood. I'm in a pretty good and silly mood. So I'd say I'm at a 7, 8.
You're an 8 Tekashi 6ix9ines.
Oh,
that's hilarious.
Oh man, Marilet, what are you doing? How are you?
I'm all right. I'm good. I'm all right. Like I've been enjoying this fair Leo season that we are in. As a Leo, I feel like like it's my time. So I just feel like extra like energetic.
Okay. As someone who only knows her own sign, can you explain what that means?
Tell us all about the Leo season.
Let's get some Walter.
I saw you like photo shoot, like you were doing it. So
yeah. Leos are about photo shoots. So Leos tend to be very warm people, very welcoming people. I felt like when I was growing up, I read like every horoscope I ever read was like, Leos are horrible, self-centered bitches. Like, because it was constantly like, you just want to be in the limelight. You want all the attention. Everybody's looking at you and you like it.
And you're like, yes, these are all true.
But when it's on my terms, yes.
Yeah.
When it's not on my terms, I'm like, back away. back far, far away before I paw you to death. Leos are also very like creatures of comfort. Like we like to lounge, we like to relax. We like to host people and have people over. We are, we're very loyal to a fault sometimes. We're very, they say we're very confident, but I'm always like, really? Are we? Is that real? And then like, you know, J-Lo is a Leo, so I'm like, yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah.
Okay, Leos have nice booties. That's
you all have big butts then?
Thank goodness.
That's like all I'm going to take away from this.
Right. So did you guys watch?
Especially right now, it's just a time of like, there was just like a new moon 2 nights ago. So it's a time of just like focusing and intention setting and just sort of like thinking a little bit more about like being in alignment with where you're looking to be and sort of like where you are and just sort of like bringing that together a little bit more in both like intention and action.
Okay, so how is that fitting in during quarantine for you?
Golly, it's real tough sometimes. Golly gee, guys. It's a real challenge. No, it's tough. Like because I feel like right now I have like a lot of energy that's very creative, and as many of us are inclined to be that way, and wanting to connect as we have sort of typically, you know, like there's certain days of the quarantine where I just like. Where it feels like extra, like, oh, I really miss gatherings, or I really miss like hearing shitty improv or shitty open mic.
Do we ever really miss that though?
I mean, I miss the like the silence of people just being like, we're not laughing at that. Where it just hangs in the air and we're all like, yep, we feel it.
You're all like,
yeah. A little bit where we're like, And I think like I feel like it's a little easier to be that in a stand-up setting. I feel like because the nature of improv is so psychotically communal, even other people you don't know, like you're supposed to be really supportive, and I'm like, no, fuck that. Like
I don't know you. I don't know you like that.
I've been in a green room before opening for improv teams, and I'm just like, I can't. This is too much. I'm being overstimulated.
Right. No? Like it's the most irritating thing you could possibly witness if you're not part of it. Like it's
right.
Accostingly disgusting.
Accostingly, Jesus. It costs your senses.
I really just like. I think more than that, I miss like sitting for that moment. I miss sitting like at a table with like Jessie from Ratas and just watching her face give zero fucks about the level of stank it has on it, and her just being like, nah,
I'm not.
Like,
nah.
I love her so much.
My favorite is when she's like, okay. Because it's such a fucking Tia thing to do. Like, I love it. So I just like that. I miss the communalness of like actively shit talking in a group setting.
Oh, how is I saw one thing that an improv group was doing. Has it translated to, because I know everyone was kind of reluctant to do stand-up, but it seems to make a little bit more sense that people are like catching on. There's an audience. How can you do improv online?
The main places I've been doing, the main place I've been doing improv online has been with Comedy Sports, and I actually think that format works really well online because it's not like it's a competitive show, right? Okay. And it's short form, and so short form is like all the like whose line is it anyways type stuff, right?
Okay.
So audiences are trained for that more than they're trained for like a Herald or long form montages or like all these other like things that have structure but are a little bit more free form versus a Comedy Sports match is very, very structured. The improv is of course all improvised and everything. But what's been really cool is like the audience chat like on the side. People are like super down and give suggestions, and We have like this group of followers that keep coming back to watch our shows, which is really nice.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, and so I feel like that's of the improv I've seen online, and yes, I'm of course biased because I'm a company member there, but I do feel like the format itself of like a competitive something that the audience gets to participate in, not just through suggestions, they get to also like vote of like which game they liked more, which team they liked more. So they get to like have that sort of, you still kind of get like some of your sports yayas off in a very nerdy way.
How do you have to, so how do you adjust for virtual improv? Like, what is something that you kind of have to do differently now that you're virtual?
I'm even doing it on this call, and right when you said it, I was like, I have to stop screaming at them.
Why am I screaming?
I was like, it's true. Like, I'm so used to being like, project, because you're performing, and I just end up yelling at everyone. So I'm trying to modify my volume. I also think it's weird because it's like having to like connect and like look into a camera and be like, okay, let me try and be like, hey, I'm present this way, but also like taking in, you know, what you guys are doing, what you guys are saying. And so the hardest part about it is like sometimes the technical delays or like just listening becomes that much more of a challenge. And it's hard to, you can't read someone's breath as easily like on a video, or at least not with my technology. Like you can't, like it's hard to gauge those moments. So like when it's hard to sort of see physical impulses that might be a little bit smaller in the body, that like if you were physically in front of somebody or with that person, you're like, oh, I feel that they're gonna do something, and you can like jump onto it. So it's just having to like dial in on certain different things, and then also just like playing with the shape of this as it is, right? Like, what are the different ways that we can play with this camera and this technology and like make it fun and make it like exciting for us? So like how we were doing earlier with the like stuff that gets really close, like or really far, like right here.
Never gets old. Look at those eyebrows, girl. Look at those eyebrows.
Right.
I just did mine today.
Ooh.
Oh, they look pretty good, girl.
Thank you.
Well done.
It's the first time I've ever done my own eyebrows.
Really?
Yeah. And first time during quarantine. I'm like, I'm never gonna go for like a year. So I got this little tiny, I don't know what they're called, little tiny razors. So you just like, you basically scrape off your eyebrows.
Quick, easy, to the point.
It's like you could do the lines, right? You could just put like
I should do a tutorial.
Yes, please.
How to
I'm also
off your
Bethel from now on. Yeah, and just put like 2 things there. Aw. Reminds me of my childhood. No, I was thinking about what you were saying about the improv stuff, and I just, I took a Second City. What do you call it? So like, up to B. Like I took 2 classes. So I know what I'm talking about. But I remember the big thing was like setting your place. Like one of the first things is like all this is like set up. Whoever's like on the jump, So I was thinking like, you guys do a lot of act outs and stuff.
Yeah.
This is my act out. Hence, I'm not in improv, guys. I'm wondering, like, how do you do that, like, in this little space? Like, because, like, you can't see. Are you in a kitchen? Are you in, like, you know what I mean?
I think
a little.
It's forced us to have to be even more, I think, I'll speak for myself. And I don't know, some of the people that I've seen play, it's forced us to have to be way more, to a certain extent presentational, where it's just like, I'm going to make this thing as big as, look, I'm playing tennis. Here we are. Like it's a little bit more, but I think because it's a little like nudge and a wink, like people respond because they're like, oh yeah, I get it. Like,
I'm in the secret. Yeah.
I'm in the club. So yeah, I think like having them, be a little bit, having us be more physical, even more physical. And the nature of like the comedy sports stuff is always very, very physical anyways. Because we're like an all ages show and we want, things that like little kids can laugh at and adults can laugh at. So it's like, and like grandparents can laugh at. So it's like, it gets really sticky. And it's really silly. Like the other day I had to like, we have this one game that's It's like a very elevated version of charades, basically. But it's much harder and it's really fun. And when it's done well and people guess the things correctly, it's fucking magical. Like some people, like like once I learned how to do it, I was like, oh, okay, great. And I kind of forgot that it's an impressive skill, which is a weird thing to say, anyways. But I remember having been like on stage and seen literally people of all ages and varying forms just be like, how are they doing this? And being like, she's a witch. Like, they don't know.
I have the powers, Bruham.
It's been like the other day I had to like act out like parkour, and I was just like I was in the same area that I am right now, and just being like, you have to, and you got, just like being ridiculous. And bless Maria, my roommate, because like I've commandeered the living room so many times now, and again I'm screaming the whole time. And
she's on the phone with her mom. Yeah, Marilet's doing that thing again. She's like literally climbing on the walls.
I love her, but it's just like every night.
Too much now. She's yelling again.
She's gibberish. I don't know what the fuck she's saying.
All this like Leo energy. Right.
We have a really important question from the audience. Sonal wants to know, why does your hair look so good?
Right.
Because I did it before I got on this call, and confession, it was why I was late to the call.
I went crazy with the curling iron. You know how we do.
I tried a different curling iron today. I used a bigger, I don't know what the thing is called.
Roll?
Yeah. Like barrel?
Barrel. Whatever this is.
What is that?
She used the bigger dildo, you guys. She used the bigger dildo.
Look here, you can Photoshop it in. There it is. Take that still right now.
Que sucia. Okay. My mom's watching. She's like, who are your friends? I don't like these girls. Yeah. She doesn't sound like, I make her sound.
Your mom was very much about my own friend.
Yeah. Big barrel. No, but you look gorgeous. And then when was your birthday? Was it just yesterday too? Or like 2 days ago?
It was several days ago. It was over a week ago. It was on the 8th.
Look
yeah. So
Sonal's trying to get credit for her
while we're
birthday.
asking. I'm just
it's all one big day. Sonal's birthday. Yeah, her birthday was a couple days ago.
That was yesterday.
Yeah.
Look at us trying to take your thunder. All right, Sonal, we see you. You've been seen. I'm just joking. Yeah. It was your birthday yesterday. We heard her to death. Thank you for watching. So are you back in Chicago? Because I know last time we talked, you were still in San Fran.
Yeah, no, I'm back in Chicago. I got back at the end of June. Which is nice. And so like as soon as I got back, I got in on like a Tuesday, and my flower shop job, they're so lovely and nice there. Rosa, she's the best. Designed by Rosa, in the loop. I holler.
I've ordered from her plenty of times. Wonderful.
Wait, give me that again. I'm like showing them on the comments. Flowers by Rosa?
Designs by Rosa.
Designs by Rosa.
They're on Wabash downtown.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I got it.
That's dope. And so she's super great, and like she her daughter also sort of helps run things remotely, and because she's in Virginia, and she was like Christina was like, hey, are you available to work like a little bit? And I was like, yeah, like I'm unemployed. Yeah, I can work a little bit. Like, what's a little bit? She was like Fridays and Saturdays. I was like, sure. She was like, cool. Can you come in this Friday? Sure. Absolutely.
And then also Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
A week or two goes by, and then I guess the other woman that they hired while I was gone, I guess things weren't working out as well with her. And like one day Rosa came into the store when it was a Friday, so it was just me in there. And she was like, what's your availability to work? And I was like, what do you mean? Like, I'm like, whenever. She was like, okay, but like, could you full-time it? And I was like, yeah. And I was like, and like my follow-up question was like, are we both going to be here? Like, how are we going to handle the, social distancing and the masking all day and all the things? And she was like, okay, cool. I'm going to have a conversation with Marisol, and then you can start on full-time on that. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, sucks for her.
Cool. Marilet's getting people fired up in this.
Yeah.
I got my own needs, bitches.
We are taking people's jobs,
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah. I know what we do.
I am not Mexican. I'm going to steal your job. I'm going to steal your man on your job. Oh.
Stereotypes are awesome. Also, tell me that. Look at this hair. I need a haircut, guys. Sorry, it is no bueno. I did not use a curling iron, and I should have. Tell me about like flower design. Like, did you study this, or you just like?
No.
Did you study this, or are you just fucking awesome?
Yeah, you're just fucking awesome because I've seen what you've done. It's like amazing.
So Rosa, the owner, she's been in the floral business for like over 30 years, and then Charles is the other designer who I worked with while I was pre-COVID and while I was here, and I'd been there for maybe like, I don't know, I want to say like 8 months or something like that. I started working shortly after Valentine's Day. Because like Charles was like, hey, we need somebody to come in, so extra hands during Valentine's Day because it's a very busy time for a florist. And so I ended up working like 1 day a week and then transitioned into working more days a week. And so Charles and Rosa trained me, and and then she continues to train me. And so it's a lot of like design concept that they sort of teach you, and just sort of like, okay, like here's how to sort of create height or width or like different things. And like there's times where I totally screw it up. And I'm like, that looks ugly. I wouldn't like that, and be like, I gotta start over. But yeah, like it's definitely trial and error. And then like because it's something I'm doing more now, I've been like looking more at floral design and just like looking at videos and stuff. So so it's mostly just been like apprenticeship is how I've learned, and I'm learning.
You're a natural. You're a natural.
I mean, it ain't a bad way to spend the day, let me tell you. Today,
it would be. I have really bad allergies, but otherwise,
not for you. Not for you.
For people who don't have allergies,
it's beautiful. It's wonderful.
Studies have shown that like just looking at greenery, whether it's real or fake, lifts up your mood.
Yeah.
So you must be like high all the time.
I do. I literally like I walk into the store, and like when I open because our freezer, the front freezer is broken right now, so everything's in the back cooler, and then I have to bring everything out and put everything back in at the end of the day. But when I open that back freezer at like 9 o'clock in the morning, and it's just like flowers, I'm just like, good morning. Like I just start like talking to the flowers because they're looking all beautiful right there. And I'm just like, what? I can't help it. Like, you're a living thing. Hello, what's up? Look at you.
Like, birds come out like,
exactly.
like in Disney.
I feel like the little
Ella comes out. Hi, yeah, Sleeping Beauty.
The bird's gonna land.
Right.
You're like getting dressed in the shop, and people are like, "Why are you naked?"
Right.
I've totally had to get dressed there and be like, "I'm not wearing clothes." It's happened. It happened.
It happened.
Oh man.
Do you guys have plants? Are you guys like plants people or flowers people?
I like flowers. I like plans. Wait, plans? Like schedule or plan?
Plan.
Okay, sorry. I was like, I also like plans.
I have passion planner.
Plans.
That's what I.
Do you know about the passion planner, Denise?
Yeah, I've heard of it. You like it? So now we're shifting away from
I'm sorry.
scheduling apps and yeah.
We like plans, planners, and planters.
I do like plants. I do have a garden outside, and I'm trying to bring some more stuff inside. And I have a plant light, but I need to figure out what I'm going to bring in. And I also like planning things and color coding tasks because I'm a Scorpio, and that's how I roll. You know.
Yes.
Oh man.
Jess, you like plants and plans?
I do like both. I do like both. I'm not a very good plant mom, but I do have 2 right now, and they have not died yet.
Hey.
And I've had them for 2 months.
That's a long time.
They're probably in the background rolling their eyes because I have not watered them. But they're doing okay.
They're talking shit. They're like, "You ain't that good of a mom."
Yeah.
But they're not watered, so
they're like, boo.
Right. Not that good of a mom. We're doing improv here, guys. We're yes-anding each other. 2 classes of Second City right here. Woof. Killing it. Hashtag.
What's that, white improvisers?
She just comes out swinging, guys.
I
You know that Barack Obama speech last night, and she's just coming out. She's like,
listen,
balls to the wall.
I was born like this. Making white people uncomfortable is a joy for me.
Hey, same.
Like, I love it.
I love it.
I'm so
I've
uncomfortable.
been doing it since I was a child. I love it.
Wait, what did you just say, Marilet? Sorry, I'm like rambling.
No. It's just tonterías. I was saying I've been making white people uncomfortable since I was little. And being like,
Out the womb. I love it. So, interesting transition. Let's talk about racism. Hey yo. This is the fun part of our conversation. Wait, comfortable. Thank you with your French rosé.
It's from France.
France. Okay.
On the bottle.
Over and over again.
On the bottle, on the box, on the receipt.
The cashier told you about it.
Exactly. I was walking down sharing it, and somebody was like, "That's from France."
Oui. French, I know. Sorry. Parlez-vous français?
A mime popped out, and somehow mimed that's from France.
There's a little poodles just came running out of nowhere. A bicycle.
I know that also your mind, but I started voguing. Like, tell my age. Like, I just.
Paris is burning.
Exactly. That's great. See, Paris is, see? Man, you had me on that. Dude.
I'm stuck in a fad.
I love that.
This is what's avoiding hard topics. I love it. No, but I love that you're enjoying your French rosé. You and I talked about this a long time ago, and of course, I was too lazy to edit the video. But now, so much more has happened.
Oh yeah.
In the theater community. So now, obviously, you have all this like diversity inclusion stuff. But then, obviously, stuff.
Yeah,
it's very important. Sorry, I don't mean to be dismissive. But on top of that, obviously, COVID and like places just closing, like don't even know if they can open again. Like, what do you see as like, wow, heavy question, like the future of theater, performing arts, improv, like, tell me the secrets, Marilet.
I mean, honestly, there are so many other people who are doing this work in a much more active way than I am right now. I know a lot of my friends and colleagues from the Bay Area who are now spread out all over the country, some of them are artistic directors, some of them are other managing directors, producers, lots of sort of administrative roles, as well as educators and whatnot. Like it goes on and on. I think there is definitely there was a whole, not just in like Second City, while I was closed, but like not just like all of these theaters that have been people from these theaters and the BIPOC communities and LGBTQIA communities that are actively holding their boards accountable, actively holding like people with hiring power accountable, actively creating transparent rubrics and strategies and ways to structurally reframe what we typically have done as theater practitioners. And so I think in addition to holding people accountable and sort of creating newer pathways with leadership that looks way more like the world we live in, also like using these online platforms and I've talked to like the comedy sports people, like Jason has been very like, listen, like whenever it is in the world that we do get to like be back in person, like if that is going to happen, I don't want us to lose this digital element. I want us to be able to offer our programming online. And so what was great during this pandemic was there were so many amazing professional theater productions that got put online. Like I watched several productions from like what's that theater in London? Some fancy theater in London. And
I don't know, there's some British people there. Yeah.
I don't know. They all had accents. It was cool. Stein and
I don't know.
Miller. So I got to see a bunch of really cool performances that I would never have gotten to see previous. And I think a lot of people are looking to keep the inclusivity of that and sort of removing that barrier has been really, I think, impactful to creating relationships with new audience members and people who maybe wouldn't have been inclined to try it otherwise. So I think there's still a lot to be done. There's still a lot to undo and relearn and learn differently and fail and fuck up and try again. And you know,
yeah.
But I think there is much more of a hypervigilance, and less of a like we're just not gonna take that shit. You know, like I think that because it's not like this work hasn't been done before. It's not like people haven't been making these requests, these demands, these you know, like it's not like this shit hasn't been out there.
Right.
It's just now so much more spotlighted. Mm-hmm. So I feel like and so we've seen the power of being able to have a movement, either be it in person or online, and see the traction that can create, and see the interest and the support that can garner. And I think that with that, you know, with that power comes great responsibility. And so being able to kind of hold these institutions feet to the fire a little bit more. I think that's a problematic saying. I think it might be. I don't know. I'll have to check. Ooh, whatever. I'll look. I did it. I said it. But basically, like holding these bitches accountable and being like, look, like if you ain't fit to actually change, then we're gonna take all our business everywhere else. And I think that people are way more willing to mean that and get the work done in the way it should be done, and as equitable and accessible way as possible.
I think COVID presented a good opportunity too to also like equalize things, because, well, first off, I think also the theater performing arts community, they're just so damn creative. So I'm glad that they were just like, fuck it, we'll do it. It doesn't work. Well, who cares? Like, we're used to having 2 people in our audience anyway. I mean, you know, you've been to some weird shit, right? Like,
yeah. So
like, salutations and peanut butter. Okay, cool. I'm gonna just be there.
Right.
You know, art. Interpretive dance thing. You're like, okay, I'm digging it. So I love that. I feel like theater, improv, stand up, like, did a little bit more even than music. I'm not sure to start some shit, but you know what I mean? Like, even I feel like music didn't do it never, and like I just see all these great like one-person shows and storytelling and poetry. Like, people are still doing stuff and they're like, cool, here's a camera.
Because music has always been accessible in this other way, right? More widely available in this way. Mm-hmm. Because of things like Spotify or Pandora or whatever streaming services have been around for a minute. You know? Mm-hmm. So there, I think the sort of uptick in other performing arts is because it was like we really didn't our spaces, like we just really didn't have them. So it was like we have to create something new. You know, that creativity and ingenuity we're talking about.
Yeah, I think part of what has made progress in, I would say, like the improv or theater community. I'm not gonna say stand up because we have a lot of work to do still.
Yeah, we're like the worst. Seriously,
talk about it. I want to know
we're pretty fucked.
We're pretty bad. Yeah,
I mean, you're friends with us. You know us.
Wes and I are very problematic. Like,
we're the problem. We're like the number one. Everyone's talking about Las Locas and how we suck. No, I'm kidding.
I was gonna say, where are these bitches? I will come get them.
And that's like, she's getting her freaking breast knuckles out. She's ready to go pop in. Like,
I'm like, Ida, Santa party time?
See, party
time on someone's face.
Oh man, no. I think what's made it successful is that people can't just like slip by and go and perform at these problematic venues anyway.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, everyone is on social media, and so in this way, virtue signaling is actually helping.
Right.
Because if someone right now is committing to, like, back when IO was still up, I'm never gonna perform at IO. Like, if we were all in real life, those bitches would be out there performing at IO.
Pictures like, look who's at IO.
Yeah.
Look at the background.
We're stage whores, so like, there's no keeping us from that.
So.
Yeah,
I love mamas for a spot. Okay,
I love that. All of the like proclamations of I'm never gonna. I was like, bullshit. Like y'all are phony AF because y'all knew Y'all knew before all of this, and y'all stayed quiet as hell. I performed at IO through Generation Latinx when I first moved here, which was not a program set up by IO.
Generation Latinx is kick ass. I just want to say that. Like, it's one of my favorite things in Chicago.
Michelle has done an incredible job of like building that and creating a space where people can come together and network. And it honestly was it was the thing that created a springboard for me to like connect. I met Jesse, Abby, and Kendra because we were on the Spanglish team for
awesome.
Like, and it was just like, but it was that immediate like, oh, okay, this is gonna be a thing, when we met each other. But Michelle has done a great job with that. And so I did that, and then I got invited to be in Geraldo a little bit before I left for California. And but again, both of these teams, even though Geraldo is a fucking herald, it's just in Spanish, they were never really considered a herald team by IO. But they had a night, they had a slot for years. So it was just one of those things where I was like, when we had these teams that were like, we're in the program and we did our 5Bs and we did whatever the fuck it is. I don't know what they do, all the levels. And they're all doing those awful warm-up
multi-level marketing Scientology, all these levels.
But it's like they all knew. Like they knew. People, we talked about it. People openly discussed it. There were town halls about all that shit, about the racism and the structural inequity going on. And the most we got was our white friends in plaid being like, I'm so sorry. That's really awful. Oh my God, China's terrible. And I was like, nah, bitch, you're terrible.
I saw a few Generation Latinx shows and I think one or two Geraldo shows, and it didn't click until the Geraldo show where I was like, improv is like 1,000 times better in Spanish. Like comedy in Spanish fits with improv so well that I would never shit talk improv if it was only in Spanish.
You heard it here first.
Button that says that.
She's lying. Here. She's always. I thought we were supposed to bring like stand-up improv relations together. I feel like we're constantly.
I am just in Spanish.
Well, I also feel like both stand-up and improv are closer linked to like our more cultural storytelling.
It's our sense of humor. Yeah,
and like Jesse and I were talking about this recently, where we not murgas, but there's another form of performance that is very like, it is stand-up, it is improv, it is storytelling. It's all of those three things in one happening. And that's been such a way that, indigenous peoples throughout the Americas have shared culture and spread culture. And so in this one way, like when I started doing improv, and when I was going to a lot of stand-up when I was, in my like late teens, early 20s, like I was like, this feels like watching things that I saw on like Univision and like or just like being in like family events where like, sort of these games kind of come out, or these stories happen, or people kind of like take, this center stage in this way at these parties, at these family gatherings. It feels like in Spanish, like I love it. Like Geraldo was just such a like fun thing to get to watch and do. Like I was super like, oh my God, they asked me to be in it. Because I just, when I first saw them perform, when I first moved here, I was like, holy shit. Like these guys are the best. Like so fast, so funny, incredibly wild shows. Like, and slaying, kicking every IO team's ass up and down the block. But only because it was in Spanish, they weren't getting their cookies, And like, it was, when they asked me to do, Jessie got asked to do it for a while, and she's still in it. And then she was kind of like, we need more women on this team. And so it's our slow ploy to just like get ratas absorbed into just so that we could be like, oh, let's go play with those guys because they're our friends and we like them. And it actually kind of, we all ended up performing together, Ratas and Geraldo, at the Compass Festival in St. Louis. because they some of the Geraldo members couldn't make it, so that we just needed more numbers, and Ratas was invited to perform as well. So all of us did the show together, and it was like side-splittingly funny. Like I laughed the whole time. Like it was just so funny and such a great way of just like playing and singing, and it translated super well. St. Louis loved it. I was like, great. They were like, I don't know what you're saying.
This feels like diverse. I love it. Thank you.
Is this diversity? I like it.
Is this diversity?
Right. I feel it. I could talk to you forever, but we're gonna wrap up because the people with their
short attention span.
Yeah. I feel like I can't even talk. I'm already like thinking about something else. No, but I could literally talk to you for days.
I could
follow you at Marilet Martinez SF.
Yeah.
Is that where? And then what do you got going on? What can we promote for you? Let the kids know.
The kids, tell them. Let's see. I've got comedy sports stuff, so I'm doing shows with them. I think it's just csgchicago.com. I think is the website for them. It's really fun, family friendly, free shows. We're gonna be moving over to Twitch really soon, which is exciting.
Cool.
And we'll be able to sort of do a little bit more, which is cool. I don't know how it works, but they tell
I know.
me.
Let's talk on the side about that because we're trying.
I want to know more
things. The kids use the Twitch. I don't know. I call it the Twitch, so I'm off already. Ask me.
We could just call it el Twitch. Do you say
Twitch? And this is I don't even speak Spanish, so like. That's
I'll be doing comedy sports stuff. I've got 2 shows on Saturday, I think. And then.
I put that
Locas is going to be doing stuff coming up. We just had a meeting last weekend, and so we're going to just be like, we're going to get our like video content, sketch comedy. So let's for that. That is on Instagram y el Facebook.
Okay.
On Instagram, we are at ratas_de_2_.
Underscore. Okay.
Underscore. Sabe como un canción ahí. And then what else? I don't know. Just trying to do my own. I want to get better at like writing and I heard that our friend Luis, is taking stand up with Jess over there.
I haven't said much about that because other stand up comedians will be like, what the fuck? But yeah, Luis came to me and asked for some support on his stand up because he wants to just keep himself writing more. So we've been meeting once a week, punching up some stuff.
Yes.
I love it. Look at it.
I want to
know. That's good.
I love that. So yeah, I'm also just trying to work on like more writing stuff and like getting, like putting a packet together and blah, 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 and all the things and like, writing whatever to make it.
Between us, we all like want to do like all of the things. You're doing this, doing that. Then 2 weeks later, you're like, how's that thing coming? I'm like, I found that thing rosé that you were talking about.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't be surprised. I would be surprised if one of us started like the first Latino like production studio in Chicago like a few years down the line. Like yep, that's bound to happen. There's a lot of us.
There's so many who are doing amazing work. So I'm like, we just necesitamos plata para hacerlo is the only thing.
Yeah, we could totally do it.
Yeah. And get money, bitches. Sorry. I mean bitches with love. Thank you.
Yeah. Here's the thing. And girl can both be like the highest compliment from me and also the lowest compliment from me. So like if I'm smiling and I say it, it's a high compliment.
With my rosé, thank you.
Yeah, with my rosé, if I'm like, bitch, then like it's a good time. Or like, girl, it's a good time. But if I'm like, girl,
right?
This bitch, then it's not cute.
Not cool. Right. I need you to repeat that because I wasn't sure if I got the tone. I don't know whether to smack you or like high five you. Like we're
right, square up or hug. I don't know what to do.
I don't know whether to spank you or high five you.
Again, this show got a little freaky.
Just me? That could just be me. I'm sorry.
Is that the transition into the next question?
What?
I said, is that the transition into the next question?
Right, exactly.
I'm single. How are you doing?
Just give your address.
Yeah, you had like a quarantine cutie kind of situation, right?
I did, and it has ended.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a similar situation and it ended as well.
Oh.
Which was too bad because it was a friend.
Oh.
And they just handled it so poorly that you're making it so that we can't be friends. And that was like the shittiest part. I was like, you're behaving in a way, you're not responding to me, you're not like, you're being non-communicative, and this coming from somebody who's talked a gang of shit about guys being like punk motherfuckers for not being communicative and yada yada yada. I was like, listen, you've espoused to be the opposite of fuckboy, and I believed you. Yet here we find ourselves in the presence of some fuckboy RE. Like, that's not cool. And so, like, I wrote him a whole thing. I was like, dude, like, are you okay? Like, homie to homie. Like, I just want to be like, are you cool? That's fine. I was like, we can, I just need to know where you're at. And we discussed it, and it was not a terribly satisfying conversation. But it was one of those things where, like, I'm going to take, like, satisfaction in the fact that I'm like, I made you question your whole fucking relationship to your religion.
Oh, not where I thought that was going.
And I was like, you had to have a whole conversation with yourself about like God and Jesus and who you think you is. And I was like, you know what? From all the hoes in the Bible, thank you. This one goes out to Mary Maggs. That bitch, I love her.
That's actually my confirmation name. I only picked it because I really liked the name, and my parents were like, "What the fuck?"
You're like, you know, she was a hoe, right? She was the town.
Also, Jesus is like main homie, okay? Like,
right? Hey, I know she was the confidant.
Oh man,
wife. If you ask some people, Ayo, Discovery Channel, yeah. Controversy, guys.
But yeah, that sucked. That was shitty. That was a few months ago, and then I had a perhaps a not so COVIDly responsible little affair. Yeah, well, a friend of mine who like he's like sex from a while ago, and
he's
like
pre-COVID sex.
You know, you got old money, you got new money, you got old sex, you got new sex. You know
exactly. Right? So like it's a thing, right? And so like it was one of those things where like when we started hooking up together, like he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna be moving soon." I was like, "Okay, cool." So like we hung out for that time, and then he moved, and then eventually I moved, and then he ended up coming out here like last October, like end of the like near Halloween.
Okay.
And oh my God, that week was crazy because our Dia de los Muertos show was that Friday, and I was dead because I like that show is in particular is like my baby. Like I produce that show, I curate that show, like so I was just like not sleeping that whole week. I was like I did the design for the show, like all of it, and I was also in a really tough spot with this other guy that I was dating who lives here. We've broken up last year. But like I was like, I don't want to. And this other guy's like, yo, I'm coming into town. I was like, you know what? The sex with him was always amazing. And I was like, yes, we're kicking it. And so several weeks ago, he was like, hey, like I've been quarantined, like, and I was like, I'm gonna believe you. You're a responsible citizen. And he was like, I've been quarantined. I'm just gonna like dip out for a minute. Like, would it be cool if I came to visit you? And I was like, yeah. Yes, please. And that was great. We had a wonderful week together. It was lovely. It was fun. We did we went on lots of walks. We ate lots of ice cream. I had to ice my vagina at one point. It was great.
Me too, but only because I went bike riding. So sad.
I'm old enough. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
So sad.
So. I did a divvy for the first time like 2 weeks ago, and like I was like, oh yeah, like it's a little uncomfortable.
Yeah. No me gusta.
I'm glad you got some. I'm glad you had, someone at some point and during the quarantine that it is my quarantine cutie is over and done with, but like just to like keep myself level headed, like it was nice while it lasted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm a little like concerned about like what dating looks like going forward. Yeah. Here's the thing. I no tengo ningún pinche ánimo para hacerlo. Like I just don't fucking want to, right? Like I'm having my Leo, I'm having my time, I'm great by myself. And like living my life. And a girl's got needs, so eventually I know I'm gonna be like, damn it. And like I don't want to backslide on something, right? I'm like, maybe there's right. And then it's just like, well, the idea of like somebody new is just like, well, I don't know. Like it's a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
Now you're like, where have you been? Like literally, because
what's great though,
I don't think I'm ever gonna see you. Like, yeah.
What I think is very interesting about like living in a COVID time is that it sort of forces us to have these like consent talks immediately. And so it sort of sets this precedent for like checking in and being like, yo, like, let's just have a real deal conversation about like some nitty gritty shit. So I hopefully that is also like helpful, I think in some regard for people in order to like facilitate other consensual conversations. So I don't know. That's my hope. That's my hope.
There you go. Look at you changing lives here.
Right, here we are, me and France.
Well, it's been awesome talking to you. We should just talk offline forever.
Yeah, okay.
I'm going to stop streaming soon, but I just, everybody follow Marilet Martinez. She's amazing. I put all the links. Follow her flower shop. I know it's not her flower shop, but ask her to make them for you.
I love it.
She's super talented. Ratas de dos Patas. We also put up the link for Comedy Sports and Generation Latinx, all the things. So yeah, just keep supporting like online stuff, guys. Because P.S. we're not getting together anytime soon.
No.
No, it's not happening. 2020 is kind of canceled. But it's testing, right? So
yeah, 2021 online forever.
Forever, potentially. Yeah. So I don't know. Any famous last words? Anybody? Bueller? I'm showing my age here with the Ferris Bueller reference.
I love it. I love a Ferris Bueller reference. I do.
I'm feeling really old today.
I'll say Dankeschön.
There you go. Oh. Look at me now.
Yeah. This was so fun. Thank you guys for coming. Honestly, like I've been looking forward all day long, and it is not disappointed as I knew it wouldn't. And you guys are great and amazing, and I love all the shit you guys do. And you're such hardworking badasses with like big hearts and like
mountains. Like gang sign. Sorry, I'm gonna get shot over here. I'm on the west side. I should. That's like my arthritic hands. I don't know if I'm doing shit. Someone's gonna get in here like, what are you doing?
My crooked
part of the gang war probably did. Thank you. I heart your faces. Everybody check out the comments. Got all the info on Marilet, and keep supporting Las Locas comedy. We'll have a show coming up soon. But we'll be here next Thursday talking some more cheese days and cheese maze and all the cheese and chichis. I don't know.
Look at you. You're so bilingual. I love it.
No, thanks. And the chichis, that's how I know. I'm the worst, guys. Literally.
Messy chichis.
I'm level 7 on Duolingo, guys. I'm like, well, thanks for having me, Marilet. Thank you. Jess, say bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye. All right, heart you guys. See you soon.
Bye.
Peace. I said peace. I'm sorry, pause. Thank you. Pause.